Yo, what's up, guys? G here. Welcome back to another episode here, another show. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the last, what might be my last stream of the year. I have plans for tomorrow, so not exactly sure if I'll be doing a show tomorrow. But other than that, I hope you guys are doing well. And this basically wraps up the year 2022. Now, don't be discouraged if this wasn't your year. This will be a great reset for you guys, as long as you guys don't give up. Obviously, you can take a step back and just kind of reflect on things, but keep moving forward. And hopefully next year is very good for all of us. So today, just want to do a recap on basically 2022, the SPY, what to look for next year, more specifically next week. And then we'll take a look at the charts, and we'll also take a look at a few stocks that I am watching next week. I've already got a position in one, so definitely stay tuned for all of that. And if you guys have any tickers or any that you guys want me to cover, drop them down in the chat. And please consider dropping a like. So today, actually, most of the week was very algorithmic trading, I would say. You can see we were actually down to 378 at one point, about 1% or something. We ended up closing pretty much break even for the day, and we basically almost recovered most of today's losses after hours. So the most important thing I would say today was going to be volume. So volume today, 83 million on average, 87. Now this is what's telling me, what this is telling me is basically people are starting to either position themselves for next week. You can see early in the week, very low volume. So like I was saying, very algorithmic, but now most of the people already, tax harvest, and so at this point they can't really take any more losses because it would take like 2 days to settle and stuff. So I think people are positioning themselves for maybe other investors buying in on the 1st of 2023. So it could be that. And so the reason I like high volume is because we didn't have a huge red day. As you can see, like I showed you guys, 378 was the low. And that was because some news came out, and I'll show you guys that. It's basically related to China. But we basically bought that up before the end of the close. And by market close, we were basically up towards the high again. So I think for the bulls, now I'm a big bear, so you guys know I want to be bearish all the time. So I do go in with a little bias there, but I'm trying to learn not to do that. So that way we can take advantage of some trades and make some profits along the way in both directions. But this is definitely encouraging for bulls. And so right now I'm currently flipped to the bullish side. Long-term bearish, I think there's more downside, but like I said, end of the day, we closed towards the highs. So 382.43, the high was 382.58, and we had good volume. So it looks like a lot of people are probably, either stepping in or getting ready for next year. Let me go ahead and show you guys that news that kind of made the stock drop, or basically the market. UK requires COVID negative tests for arrivals from China, and they basically confirmed that if people come down, they will need to show a negative test before actually going into whatever it is, basically. So I guess this is just bad news because it's showing possibly another lockdown, or you guys, we've already kind of talked most of what this means, right, in our last stream. So I won't cover that too much, but basically I think it was just like initial steps on early this week, and then today basically they confirmed that, hey, these guys actually required, right? It wasn't like you consider this or consider showing tests, but now it's more of a requirement. So that change in wording definitely affected and kind of scared the market. Just slow economy, maybe lockdowns, all that, and just basically reversing all the optimism that we had early in the week for China. So just to wrap up the year though, stocks gonna fall or end the year as the worst year since 2008. So 2022 down nearly 20%. So a lot of stuff to still look forward to in 2023. Like we've had pretty much everything. We've had China lockdown problems, invasion of Ukraine, a lot of serious things, right? We still have serious inflation, sticky inflation, aggressive rate hikes to look forward to. And yeah, just been beating down technology stocks and growth. So a lot of the sentiment in the investors is like very volatile as well. So people don't know when to step back in. And for the most part, I think people are waiting to get more clarity, probably the beginning of January or next month. And the reason I say that is because we've got data coming out. So this will help the Fed as well, but also this will help some investors. So just a few economic calendar things to watch out for. I think Tuesday will be pretty chill. People might be eager to get back in the market. So All week and last week was pretty slow, like I showed you guys in volume, about 50 million. I think that's definitely gonna make a bigger move in the SPY in the market as investors and everybody kind of goes back to day trading or whatever it is, right? Back from the holidays. Volume will definitely pick up for the SPY and some of the other indexes. And that's, I think, going to move us in a bigger direction because we've basically been consolidating, and we'll talk about the chart in just a second. But we've been consolidating for a while, for a week at least, and so I think that's gonna once you consolidate, breakout or breakdown is sure to follow. So just to show you guys some economic calendar stuff, Tuesday should be pretty chill. We have manufacturing PMIs, not too big, I don't think. We had Chicago PMI today. It didn't really move the market, so I wouldn't expect this to do too much, but that can definitely move things. The thing I would be looking for on Wednesday is going to be ISM manufacturing, and then PMI, and then the JOLTS job openings. This is going to be huge because it's going to give us a better idea of whether we're in a recession, how the jobs are going, and obviously jobs equals demand, and we don't really want demand in the economy right now because if people still have buying power, then inflation is going to basically be sticky. So that's what they're trying to cut down, right? So unfortunately, we want less jobs in the market. Wait, yes, yeah, we want less job openings as well. So that's going to be big. And then Thursday to follow will be the jobless claims. Didn't really move stuff this week either, but we have non-farm employment change. I think that'll be big. So basically this whole week, this first week of January is going to be related to jobs, and that's going to give us basically a good idea. If that's not good enough, definitely the week after is going to be huge too because we have earnings right around the corner. So first week of January, I think it's going to be very volatile just because people are stepping back in the market. And then we have all this jobless job data and all this and PMI data. So a lot of data coming out. So very volatile. Expect a big move the first week, I would expect. And then the week after that, we get our first, we're basically back to earnings. The most considerable ones to look at is going to be Thursday, January 12th. We've got TSM, so semiconductor sector. So some stocks to watch, Nvidia, some of these AMD, a lot of just that retail traveling sector, Delta Airlines, and then also the banks. So we got, I think, Bank of America, JP Morgan on Friday. We've got Wells Fargo, Citigroup. All these are going to give us a better idea, gauge the economy again. So my bullish thesis for this is basically earnings don't come in as bad as people expect. And so basically ALGO's market's just going to hold the market up because at this point they won't crash it until we get confirmation with more earnings and stuff is what I'm thinking. So this week, this first week of January, look for the jobless and all the job data and stuff. And then the next week I would look at earnings. And at this point, I think the market's gonna either, go sideways or chop it up. Just waiting on earnings. And if earnings are bad and it confirms, bad 2023, then basically it's game over, right? Then it's GG, and we're gonna go further down. So those are the first 2 weeks of January. I think pretty big. We're like right off the bat, kicking, like hitting the ground and running, basically is what people say. But let's move over to the charts now, and let me show you guys what I see here. So I've got this stuff highlighted like I was saying earlier. We've basically consolidated for like 3, 6, about 9 days, 10 days. So 2 weeks we've basically consolidated on low volume. And so what's to follow after a big sideways movement consolidation is you get a move to the upside or to the downside. So for example, here September, we've consolidated for like 6 days. Then you got a big gap up or a big move to the upside. I'm not saying this can move to the upside. It's all going to depend on data and stuff, but just kind of giving you guys examples. After you consolidate for a long ass time, you're going to move to the upside or to the downside. One thing that I kind of noticed here also is basically we were consolidating, went up, consolidated, went down. And so we basically, I don't know if that's consolidation, but we moved down, consolidate, so maybe we move back up. Because I think it'd just be too easy to continue falling. And I think also today, closing above 380 was kind of bullish for the bulls. Like it was good. Like the fact that it was able to hold like 380, 378, more specifically like psychologically 380, with low volume, that's just showing you guys that the market's not ready to fully collapse, right? So I am like kind of leaning bullish for the early next week. And then from I guess a bigger picture, obviously we've got to possibly retest the lows, but that might not even come till after the next Fed meeting and stuff. So one thing on here that I like on the SPY, and I kind of charted this up, we've been consolidating, so I'm going to remove this consolidation phase. But we've been working on this pennant kind of sort of, and you can actually see it better on like the ES, and I kind of shared this on Discord a while ago. But we've been going up and down, and it kind of does look like a head and shoulders, but I think if we can break out of this downtrend, then we've got a lot of room to go, a lot of room to get back up here. And if you go back to SPY, basically, let me pull it up. Yeah, it's same thing here. If you can like break out, then you're talking about like 392, 393 again. And the reason this could be something realistic is if you go to the daily, we have that gap that we talked about. So we've already filled the first one, like this one technically, but we've got this gap up here. So I think what could happen is we go to like 392, 393. Maybe people get like bullish and stuff. We don't technically get to the gap fill, but I would expect if we break out from this downtrend, then we can possibly see this level up here. So that's what I see on SPY. What do you guys see? Let me see. I think it's Friday night, so I think a lot of people are gonna either be celebrating pre-gaming for the new year and stuff. But I'm gonna do all that tomorrow. So I'm gonna cover some of the stocks that I'm interested in now. I think the first one that I got, it's going to be Microsoft. So this one, I was actually bearish on it, but after looking at the chart today and stuff, it's basically consolidated for a while and formed a base. So we had like we formed a low here, and then we basically are forming a higher low now. So I would be expecting some more upside now. So we've been basically forming this higher low, and if we can break back out into like 240, then I think we can easily see 245. So that's the first one that I'm looking at. I was bearish on this one because of the bear flag and stuff, but it's just not breaking down. So at this point, I've already basically, I took like a small loss. I was down, then I averaged down on a losing play, and then it fell down today, and I ended up closing it, and then I made some money back by getting at some calls. So for the most part, I think I took like a very small loss on it. So it wasn't a win for sure, but I did mitigate some of my losses by just admitting defeat. But now I'm looking at this one to the upside. Obviously, people are talking about this gap fill down here, but sometimes what this could be is maybe like a gap and trap. So it looks like a gap is like an easy opportunity to make money, right? So what retail's going to do is get puts, but the algorithm or whoever, the Wall Street floor traders or whatever, they're going to basically set up that as a trap and basically consolidate or either go up and then eventually move it down. So right now, and I'll show you guys examples. So it's down here, people are like excited about the gap fill, and then what they're going to do is run it back up and then eventually bring it back down. And basically what that does is it's going to kill premium and time, and then people are going to be right on the move, potentially fill the gap, because you can see it does like to fill gaps here. So it had a gap here, it came up and filled it, broke back down, created another gap, went back up and filled it. So I do think this gap will get filled. I just think they're gonna do it the long way, and that's gonna basically kill premium for a lot of retail investors. So I would be waiting for a nice pop up and then possibly get the puts and then ride it on the way back down. And I'll show you guys another example. A good one would be like JP Morgan. I think this is a classic gap and trap, and let me see if I can show you guys. Yeah, so it had like a gap right here basically, and you can see people probably started getting inputs right here just to get that gap fill, and then it didn't really fill that gap until after it like went the long way around. So that's an example where you basically see the gap here and then you come down, don't quite fill it. I mean, you could say that technically filled it, but I would say that's not really. And then that's when it filled the gap, right? Then you finally retouch that. So that's like it goes basically around. So I was looking at that as a potential gap and trap on Microsoft. So it is going to get filled probably, but it might just take a little bit longer. So I just took my losses on it. Another example of the gap and trap, I think Amazon was a good example. I've got other ones, but this is another example kind of. You can see that basically it was coming down to fill the gap, and then it had a pop, a day or two pop, and then it finally filled the gap. So just be careful with gaps because sometimes they're just set up for traps. But yeah, I'm looking at Microsoft to the upside now. I'm gonna see how it reacts on Monday and then possibly play it from there. And if I do get puts again, I'm probably gonna get some date or time into January, maybe February, just to play it safe. What's my next one? I think Polestar is gonna be my next one. I've got some good ones. Actually, let me show you guys. I've got Roblox I'm going to show you guys, but I'll show you guys that in a bit. Let me show you Polestar really quick. I think a lot of people like Polestar. I usually do videos separate for Polestar, but I actually like the chart on this now. So initially we consolidated here, broke back out, and then we had a gap fill. And this is a perfect example of that gap and trap again right here. You can see we came down. Basically, people got excited for this gap. Then we actually ran up and then came back and filled it. So another good example of that gap and trap. So yeah, that's why I took my my losses on that Microsoft. But the reason I like this one is we filled the gap, and now we're basically holding this $5 or this support right here that was like 480, and we're holding $5. We're holding $5, and then we've had these supports and resistances out for a while. So it's not too surprising we got rejected here. We said, you know, 540 was the target. Right now we're kind of in a weird spot where it's in between these ranges. I would say after this huge breakout, you're gonna definitely maybe see a pullback. If it can hold this $5, then I would possibly get shares at that point and possibly ride it back up to 540. The reason I like this one is because on the 1 hour, we're basically outside of our downtrend. You can see that we're in a downtrend. We're basically consolidated here for a while and then a huge pop. And you can see it's basically done the pullback if I'm not wrong here. It broke back up to 540, pulled back, and looks like it's getting ready to do another breakout. So Polestar, if I was going to play this one, it's going to be shares, and that's how I play this one actually. Sometimes it moves too slowly, unpredictable, but shares are pretty safe, I think, in my opinion. Plus, it's a good company. So I'll be looking at that. If it breaks $5, then obviously it's going to possibly fill the gap. But we've got this resistance or this support here, this ascending support. So I'd be looking at like 560 again for another entry if it breaks $5. So that's number 2. Number 3, what is that? Nvidia. I do like Nvidia as a play here. What do we have here? Oh yeah, most obvious thing is going to be the gap, the downtrend here that we broke out of. So we were in a deep downtrend basically, and we're basically finally getting out of it. And also we have like a higher low, I guess technically. You can kind of see it here. It just looks nice. It looks good now, right? And we've got the gap up here. I guess I don't know if that's really a gap. It was a huge red candle. But no, I like it because it's forming higher lows now technically. You can basically see that on here. So it's getting ready to do possibly a breakout. And it looks like towards the end of the day was currently breaking out. So above this downtrend, there's like not much resistance up to like 150. So that would be like a target I'd be looking at, right like right here, 151. Conservatively, I guess 148, but that's still a good move on it. Yeah, so I like Nvidia. It's been on a big downtrend. Now, as a company, I still think it has more downside, but short term it could show some upside. It seems to hold that 140 support pretty well, and it's breaking back above the highs, so it does look good, in my opinion at least. Let me see where we're at. Yeah, I think my favorite play is gonna be DraftKings though. Now I wasn't gonna share this one because I don't want it to go wrong, and this is the one that I'm in. I basically got some opposition in this one, but I really like this one because first of all, it's near the lows. Like, so if it becomes risk on, I think this one's gonna fly. They also did have news about opening Ohio, or legalizing in Ohio or something like that, or start operating in Ohio. I think that's huge just in general for DraftKings. Ohio's like a great state because they got Cincinnati Bengals. They got like some really hyped up teams. So I think it's next week actually. Let me look it up. DraftKings Ohio stock. Let me see. Yeah, they're supposed to open up like next week, so I think that could be like a set to open top rated online sportsbook in Ohio on New Year's Day. This is going to be huge news for it, I think. And today the market didn't really like soak it in all the way, so I think if they get some numbers and stuff, I think it's going to be huge just in general for NFL. I mean, yeah, everything. I think they've got what they have, the Cleveland Browns, right? They've got Cincinnati Bengals. That's going to be huge. And so I think if the market's good, this is going to perform really good. Based on the chart, I also like it. Like I said, it was at the lows, and it's getting ready to do like a breakout. This is the downtrend that I'm watching. Obviously, it's getting ready to break out, but also on like a 15-minute, you can see it's getting ready to break out of this trend as well. So I think this is like really good opportunity here. Doesn't really have many resistance, not to like $12, I would say. 12.20 I think is the major resistance. Obviously, once we break out, we got to get above 12 or 175 it looks like. But I think I'm very excited for this one. And you can basically see the downtrend resistance better here actually. So this is my favorite play. The other thing I notice is inverse head and shoulders possibly here. Oh fuck. Inverse head and shoulders right here. Shoulder, head, and then maybe a shoulder. And that'd be like an inverse head and shoulders. And then the returns on this could be pretty nice. It would be from here to here. So we're talking about, let me see, something maybe like just conservatively, I would say, yeah, back like up to 12.20 I think, maybe around there. 12.20, and then yeah, I'm already in this one. I think I'm up like 10% on my stuff right now. So I'm chilling, I'm feeling good. As long as the market's good, we should be feeling good. But yeah, just downtrend down, looks to be breaking out, and then the news is very bullish. So if the market's green, then I think we'll be good. Also potentially inverse head and shoulders. And then if you go to like a shorter time frame, like 15-minute or something, you can see possibly like an inverse, not an inverse, but a regular cup and handle forming here. Like a beautiful cup and handle right here. So I don't know if that's actually a cup and handle, but that would be nice too, right? Or it could be an inverse head and shoulders here, right? So just a lot of opportunity here, just a lot of good potential patterns forming, right? The first one's here. Within that, it's like a cup and handle here. Within that, it's maybe an inverse head and shoulders. Like just a lot of good opportunities, I think. And then also, of course, the pennant, which is like forming higher lows. So we got this low, we got this low, basically that low. So it looks good. I think I like this. This is my favorite play. So there, I said it, my favorite play. My next one that's really interesting is Meta. Now, I haven't looked at any options and stuff. You guys can look at the options on your free time. I've got a link for 15% off my chat and stuff. We've got a sale going on, so check that out. But I really like Meta because, let me just go to the daily. It's basically been consolidating for a long ass time, and it's basically forming higher lows now. Here's a low, here's another low. And this is the downtrend resistance, and we're basically, sorry if my mouse isn't very good today. But if it can get outside of this downtrend, then we've got a potential of a gap fill up to like 130. So that's a $10 move potentially. And that's what I think people are possibly looking at. Of course, the market has to be good, but I think this one has very good upside. So that's the second play. I haven't done too much more. I just really like the pattern on this. Yeah, I like it. It looks good. And yeah, I think also you could say this was like a double top, right? But sometimes when you do a double top, you go down to the neckline and then you don't break, then you usually retouch the highs of that, technically, I think. So we have the neckline right here. This was the double top, but you see that we're already retracing the neckline, didn't break. If it would have broke the neckline, then that would have been bearish, right? But it didn't. It actually came back down and rejected it. So it looks good, I think, in the pattern. So we'll wait and see Monday or Tuesday. I'm sorry. We'll see how this one plays out. Number two. No, this is my play number 3. No, this is my play number 4. If you guys have tickers, put them in the chat. I'll add those to the list. Number 5 is Roblox, actually. And this one's one I actually covered on on Twitter. If you guys aren't following me on Twitter, sometimes I post some decent stuff, sometimes I don't. Follow me on Twitter, and then you can, I use this one with Unusual Whales actually. I followed, if you guys aren't using Unusual Whales, check out my link or check out on the description. But I plugged this one. Oh my god, my tweets, sometimes they're funny. I posted this one a while ago actually. Roblox on December 27th, 120 or I'm sorry, January 20th, 130 the 32 calls for about 500k, and here's the affiliate code as well, 15% on Unusual Whales. I found this stuff here. This was trading at like $26. Here was the gap basically, and then here's the orders that I saw come in. So 9,888 volume, very low open interest, pretty good premium, and then they got tagged as bullish, so they most likely got bought on the ask. And so this was like a really good play, and I think when I added this one was actually at 57 cents, right? They're actually, I think, where they at 53 cents. They were at 53 cents. I think they're like almost 80% up now. They're like, so sometimes the Unusual Whales, it's just a free play, like a good one, but sometimes it doesn't work. So you guys gotta do your own research on it. But yeah, definitely check out Unusual Whales. You can sign up for free, and then later you can sign up if you want, or you can upgrade or whatever. But just check it out. This is Roblox. I really like it. So now it's at $28, up 5%. So the main thing with Roblox is the gap fill above on the daily. So about up to like 32, and it's outside of this downtrend, which is very nice. So this one could continue to go. It's also at a very good support, right? So it came down to this multiple days. It just kind of held above 25. So basically rejection to breakdown, and now it's basically going to the upside. So again, if market's good, this one should continue to follow. And yeah, we'll see how this one goes. But yeah, I like this one. MACD's flipping over, bullish momentum. I like it. It's good. You can check the Unusual Whales flow and stuff like that for other ones if you like. Other one, I would say I think that's all I have. JP Morgan, I think I would just look at banks, just because, like I said, second week of January we have earnings coming up for them, so premium is going to start going up on puts and calls. So if you just hold or buy a put, it could just go up in value just because of the implied move. The IV is going to go up, and that's going to raise your price on some of the options. But this one looks really good too. You can see it kind of has a bull flag right here, and it's, I guess, getting ready to break out. So JP Morgan might be a very good play honestly. It's like basically a bull flag is right here, and then it's consolidating and it's looking to break out. The upside, I mean, you've got 143, and then you've got 158. And like I said, this one's got earnings coming up, so just keep this one on watch because it's definitely going to move. On the daily, MACD's crossing over. This one might be a very good play, actually. Yeah. And then China stocks. I didn't talk about China, but China stocks, a lot of these are like forming this pennant or this bear flag or this bull flag. And so that's why I think it's kind of hard to be bearish on the market right now. So long term, I'm bearish. I think we see new lows on spot. But short term, I think we have some upside. A lot of these are just consolidating or forming pennants and stuff. So I would also watch BABA. I think that's going to be an interesting play. So let's see. What did we talk about today? We talked about, my first play was Microsoft. That's not my favorite play. My favorite play is DraftKings. I also like Roblox, Nvidia, Meta, Polestar, JP Morgan, and BABA. All those are very good. So check those out for sure. If you guys are missing, or if you have any questions, let me know. And if you have if you missed them, just rewind and you can check those out later. But I don't see any questions or anything, so I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. And if you guys are about done, we'll just wrap it up. I'm gonna surf the Unusual Whale stuff in the meantime. And yeah, this will probably be my last stream for the year, and we'll be back next year. And I'll ask any questions you guys have. I'm going to go through the hot chains real quick, and we're just going to see if we can find anything interesting. So I'm feeling bullish for next week, so I'm going to filter out the calls only and filter out the puts, I'm sorry. And we're going to look at some interesting call opportunities. But we can also take a look at some puts just to have those as insurance. So what I like to do is like have a couple plays for the calls and have a couple plays for the puts. So, and we'll just kind of play those accordingly. Right now, I'm on DraftKings calls, and I'm feeling pretty good. How are you guys feeling? IQ, what is this? One thing I don't like is multi-legs, so we're gonna ignore that. Multi-legs, don't really care for multi-legs. This one looks interesting. Lulu, 0, yeah. There's not that much money in this, surprisingly. Let me get... Okay, yeah, we're good here. Okay, there's not that much money on calls. What's going on here? Lulu's the only interesting one. It's 320, and they got the 322 calls. And they've got like 296K. Let's just look at the chart. Lulu. Oh, it looks nice, actually. Yeah, it looks nice. You see, it's forming this higher low stuff. Bounced here, bounced here. It looks like it wants to go back up to... Wow. I mean, it would be awesome if it goes back up to 360. That would probably be a longer term thing, but... Yeah, also it could be forming a head and shoulders. Shoulder, head. So I would expect maybe one more run to the upside. And then you get the puts for the downside. What do you guys think? That looks kind of interesting. This is a good play. It looks bullish. It looks bullish. It's forming these higher lows. You could also say it's maybe... Like, I think the first thing I saw was the head and shoulders pattern, possibly. You could also say maybe it's like an expanding triangle. Right? So yeah, or a extending wedge or whatever. So I would expect maybe one more retouch. Regardless, I think we might see like 345 maybe. I don't know. So this is definitely interesting, actually. Thanks for pointing that one out. I like it's near the lows, and it's possibly forming higher lows. And also the MACD looks like to be crossing, actually. So yeah, I'll keep this one on watch. I don't really think this is like a huge options play. It's just like 296K. It is good volume versus open interest, but it's like really close to the money. So I don't know. But I do like the chart itself. I think the chart looks good. Let's go and see if there's anything else. Pan W, what is this? Snow to the upside. 30% multi-legs. So I don't really like multi-leg, like I said, but let's just look at the chart regardless. Because this one, for some reason, always gets bought up. ALGO bought. Like, it's just like people hide money in this thing. And it doesn't matter if the stock or the market's red. This thing stays sideways or moves up. And it kind of looks like it's trying to fight out of this downtrend. We've got a downtrend there. It could possibly be forming those higher lows. I would say maybe a retouch of 150. Yeah, maybe 147. Yeah, 150 looks interesting for it. But I don't think the flow is there for sure. This is kind of like a really good support though. So previous history right here. So a lot of consolidation to the downside. I think a lot of people also talk about a downward channel. I don't really know about the downward channel. I would look for a breakout of this downtrend first, and then we can look at that. Let's go to the puts, actually, because I didn't see that many calls. Let's look. Surprisingly, right? But I was bullish. I'm bullish for next week. Nvidia puts, 138 puts, 146, 5,000. Ooh. So on Nvidia, like I was saying, I'm kind of bullish on it because it's breaking outside of this downtrend on the daily. And I guess you could retouch that. Where's my settings on this bad boy? 4 hours? There's the downtrend. I mean, let me show you guys. Downtrend, 1 hour. I like Nvidia to the upside, maybe 150. Retouch this range here, like this right here. Like right there. Downtrend's basically broken and you're making higher lows. It could also be doing a bear flag, so I'd be careful. Like, basically this was like a bear flag there, broke down, and now it's consolidating, and that's gonna break more. We can kind of wait and see. If it starts breaking out of what is it, like 146, like where's it at? 146 what? Like higher 146? I don't know. I like this one honestly to the upside now. Looking strong. It does have this little baby gap down here, so I don't know. But it's looking to go back to like 148. How you guys feeling? I should have done a poll so you guys could tell me how you're feeling. So there's a lot of money on these puts for some reason. 84% bearish. Look at these. 700 Meister. Oh, this is MSTR. Maybe something's gonna happen with crypto or something. No lows, or where's the lows at for this? What's up? What's up? I mean, if it starts breaking what 140, then it's gonna come back down. Yeah, it's looking like 112, 115 maybe. I've never liked this stock, honestly. They put all their money on crypto, and then they took an L. It is a good support, though. It is a good support. Like, all this sideways movement is support for it. Or it could be a resistance at this point. Fuck, I didn't really help with this one, huh? There's not much to say on this chart, not gonna lie. Most recently, I would say it's bearish. It's like it can't get outside of this sell-off. Goes up, gets rejected, goes up, gets rejected, goes up, gets rejected. I mean, it could go up and then get rejected again. Also, this one has a yeah, like 136. What's it looking like? The support there or what? I'm bearish on this one though. That's another support there. Let's just look at the flow. What's it say? 131. Oh, so they're expecting another $10 drop. Let me just look at these orders, because oh fuck, what is this? This is not what I wanted. So yeah, a lot of volume today on the ask side. Let's look at the actual orders though. Go to filter and then slap on 25. It looks like they came in out at one. Oh, interesting. Oh, they're in the middle though. Look, they're in the middle. See, like they are in the middle. Actually, closer to the ask, but fuck, it wasn't on the ask. Like, they didn't slap the ask button with this one. I would watch how these open on Tuesday. If they hold those volumes and then you see direction to that, whichever direction, then I would ride that. There's probably gonna be some move with that one though. CAG. This is what is CAG? CAG Congra Brands. This one might be a good put opportunity. Yeah, because it's at the highs. CAJ 38 puts and oh wait, 9,000 volume today. This is nice. This is interesting. 38 puts for 120. They gave themselves some time. It looks like it was trying to break out. This one might be the best play, honestly. It's near the highs. I would wait for $40 and then get some puts here. What does it do though? Engages manufacturing self-processed packages food. They've got a dividend coming up. So that's actually another one that I was talking about. There's NUE as a dividend play. I showed you guys that one on Twitter as well. At NUE bearish flag X dividend date 120. I think when I saw these come in, I think they're up a little bit right now. They came in at 310. I think they're at like let me see how much they're up. Gotta find them. They're 340 right now. So they're up. When I added them, they were like, when I added them, they were 288. So they're up 18% right now. Fuck. So that's another play. This is an X dividend play though, like I was showing you guys. X dividend play, and the options are for 120, so downside still. The 129 target. So they're almost there. I mean, this was down like almost about 1.5%, and it's breaking the downtrend. This does look bearish, so I would keep an eye out on this one. So basically, by X dividend day, I mean it's they just paid their dividend, so a lot of people don't want to hold this anymore, or they don't have a reason to hold them. Some people like buy before the X dividend and then they'll sell after the X dividend. So that's maybe what was it, CAG's looking like? Where's the X dividend date? Friday, 27th January 2023. Oh, so this one's got time. No. But this one does look like it's breaking out. I would just wait on the pullback. I would wait. This one doesn't. Nah, I would wait. I think the other plays I showed you guys were good though. So the Roblox is probably my favorite one, and then this one was pretty good. Uber, I think it was up for a bit. I think they're down now actually though. Not gonna lie. So let's pull up Uber actually. Let's see where it's at. Uber. That's why I say not all the plays work. They're not like they don't play. You gotta do your own research. You feel me? But just check it out on your free time and do it. Daily, looks like it filled the gap. I mean, downside you've got down to like 20 bucks. Under 25, I would say we're bearish still, right? Downtrend's like right here. I don't know, it doesn't look that convincing, honestly. I think the last time I talked about it was, oh, see, it filled the gap though. It did fill the gap. We were talking about the gap. I think so it did fill the gap and then it got rejected. I don't know, I would stay away from it, not gonna lie. Wow, I love this song. I mean, I kind of want to stay away from it, but then kind of thinking about it again. Be forming higher lows, bro. What do you think? Uh-huh. So let's just recap. What did I talk about? Let me see. Tonight we talked some good stuff actually. We talked Microsoft. DraftKings is my favorite play. Don't tell anybody, because then it won't play out. Roblox is nice. Nvidia, Meta actually is gonna go up. I think I like Meta a lot too actually. Meta is always a good play. Nvidia near the bottom, TSNY. I actually like JP Morgan too actually. And then BABA, I kind of like BABA, but it's China, so these are my plays for this week. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys think. I didn't have any questions tonight, but probably y'all are out partying and stuff. Don't worry, I'm gonna get some of that tomorrow. But no, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you found some value, and yeah, I think that's about it. I wish you guys a happy new year, and I hope 2023 is much better than 2022. And just don't give up, even if you got a bad year or you feel like maybe you didn't get much done. Just kind of step back and reflect, and hopefully, you know, use that as what's it called, fuel into next year. And you can just do baby steps, you know, it can just be baby steps. And just remember, you're not alone. There's other people that, you know, have been going through shit too. So just don't give up. Just keep looking ahead and keep looking. Yeah, just keep looking forward. All right, I'm gonna head out, y'all. You guys have a great night. Thanks for showing up. Please hit the like button if you can. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. Happy New Year. I'll see you guys next year. And then enter corny joke there. All right, peace.